The following program is rated U for universal audiences and is considered suitable for listeners of all ages.
This is a presentation of Dream Realm Enterprises, where dreams are our reality.
Okay, welcome back to Q the Quintessential WHOVIAN podcast. This is episode 206, and I am your host, Jon Russell. Now, last time I said that I would probably be doing an episode soon concerning the various versions of the blu-ray sets that are being released, but I'm not going to get into that today. I'm going to save that for another episode in the near future because I'm not quite ready. I want to do a little research and make sure all my facts are straight before I actually record that one. But today I just wanted to keep this ball rolling and do a new Q and talk about a few different things. Right at the moment, some of the new releases that are coming out supposedly this month. Some are definitely coming out this month, and some are coming out we don't know when. But for this month, I want to talk about what is absolutely confirmed for coming out at some point this month, or supposedly. You just never know with these things. They're supposed to be confirmed. We have fairly reliable sources that say this stuff's coming out this month. The big release that's coming out in this month of June is actually season 22 of Doctor Who, which is Colin Baker's first full season as the Doctor, and that is supposed to be out on the 20th in the UK. That is the UK limited edition box set. Those limited edition boxes are pretty awesome, and I really look forward to this one. I've got mine pre-ordered, and I pre-ordered mine from Rare Waves, and looks like, perusing their website, that the pre-orders on that are now sold out on their site. So I'm glad I pre-ordered it when I did, because these box sets tend to be pretty tough to get a hold of once they sell out. And then, if you go looking on eBay, you'll find them for all kinds of crazy prices. And believe me, I've learned that the hard way, trying to collect together all of the limited edition boxes. I've managed to get all of them except technically one, but also technically two. I'll go into that more when I actually do my episode about these releases and the various versions of them. But yeah, on the 20th of this month, the UK limited edition box for season 22, which features the stories Attack of the Cybermen, Vengeance on Varos, Mark of the Rani, The Two Doctors, Time Lash, and Revelation of the Daleks, that will come out on the 20th. And when I get it, of course, I will do an episode just on that, reviewing that particular set for you guys. Some of the special features on that will be an exclusive extended version of Vengeance on Varos, parts 1 and 2, both episodes. These are actually in the 45-minute format. As American fans remember, when they were shown back in the day on PBS stations, they broke them up into half-hour chunks. They didn't want to show them in 45-minute chunks, I suppose, to match the rest of the series. But at that time, Doctor Who was experimenting with longer episodes, and it really didn't work back in the 80s. So they went back to the 25-minute or half-hour versions from season 23 on until the new series. I'm still not over fond of the 45-minute to an hour episodes. I preferred those half hours, but it's a new age, and TV dramas are not made in half-hour chunks anymore. Sadly, I just think that's, for Doctor Who at least, it works so much. I prefer the serialization, the serialized versions of stories, rather than getting it all in just one quick 45-minute, 50-minute, 1 hour chunk. I prefer to get them broken up, and I wish the new series was kind of like that too. But it's neither here nor there. But anyway, this was the first time they experimented with it, and it really didn't work. But that's how we're going to get these, obviously, because they're giving us to them in their original form. Anyway, extended version of Vengeance on Varys will be on this set. An extended version of Part 1 of The Two Doctors will be on this set. And an extended version of Revelation of the Daleks Part 1 will also be on this set. There is a feature that they do regularly now called Behind the Sofa. They've got 6 new episodes of that, each featuring various past cast members and crew, I suppose, watching at least portions of these stories. I don't know how they filmed those, and that would be interesting to find out if they actually sit down and watch entire stories, or if they have to just watch chunks of it and make comments. Sort of like a video commentary is what it is, and they sit on a sofa or chairs or whatever and talk amongst themselves about what they're seeing. So kind of interesting. Sometimes it's really interesting. Sometimes it doesn't work as well. It just depends on who the guests are. And I don't think certain guests work, especially when they have the new series people watching the old series. I'm not as interested in. I would rather see people who actually worked in the program doing that at the time, from the time period. So it just doesn't always work, and sometimes it works beautifully. I really enjoy it when Colin Baker is actually the viewer. They had him viewing some of the Sylvester McCoy stuff on the season 24 set with Michael Jaston, and I thought their commentary was quite interesting. Him looking at stories that possibly could have been his, so his reaction to those stories was actually quite interesting. Whereas most of the time they use Peter Davison, Janet Fielding, and Sarah Sutton, and various others from their time period, watching other stories from other eras, and I don't think they work as well as commentators, honestly, because they're always kind of negative. Peter Davison especially seems to be really negative on classic Doctor Who, which is a shame. Even and especially on his stories, he seems to be extra negative, and that's just not entertaining to watch. At any rate, there are various making of documentaries. There's a brand new one for the Two Doctors, apparently. They revisit to season 22 locations with Colin Baker and Nicola Bryant. That should be interesting. They have some nice interviews on these sets, and in this one, they have a brand new interview conducted by Matthew Sweet featuring Colin Baker, Nicola Bryant, and Michael Grade. That should be quite interesting. There's a new audio commentary on Revelation of the Daleks, updated special effects on Time Lash, which is a much derided story. I've always kind of had a soft spot for Time Lash. I don't know why. I haven't seen it in quite a few years now, so I'll revisit it when I get this set. But I remember quite liking it back in the day. It was actually, I think at one time when this season first aired in America, I thought Time Lash was, if not the best, one of the best ones of the season. I quite enjoyed it. It was different, it was really different. But that was a long time ago, and I don't remember specifics, but I just remember really liking that story. I might change my mind when I see it again with older eyes, but we shall see. We shall see. Okay, they're also including the Blu-ray trailer that they made especially for this box set. Always interesting. They've got some studio material rare behind-the-scenes material from Vengeance on Varos, The Two Doctors, Time Lash, and Revelation of the Daleks. Look forward to seeing that. Exclusive archive treats. Stuff that was available on the DVDs, obviously. They try to transfer everything over from the DVDs to these sets where possible. So that's cool that you don't necessarily have to keep your DVDs. And I'm not really keeping my DVDs. Whenever I get the box sets, I have been selling off my DVDs because I just want everything in that one neat package that just seems to work out better for me. And there is an immersive 5.1 surround sound version for Attack of the Cybermen. Now, this is where they kind of get criticized sometimes because they do that for certain stories, but they don't do it for the entire set. So they've got it for Attack of the Cybermen, but the rest of the season, I guess it's in whatever original version of the sound it was, just typical stereo Romano, I don't know. They're also including the Slipback radio series on this set, which is very cool. I'm very glad. Haven't heard that in years, so it'll be interesting to hear that. I don't actually have the CDs of that, so I'm happy they're including that. So, and of course, there's all kinds of PDF written material on here as well. So there's a treasure trove of extras, as well as newly remastered versions of all these episodes in this Blu-ray box set. And so yeah, it's as good as we've ever had it, and I really look forward to seeing this. I remember quite enjoying season 22, and now and again I check out a few minutes of various episodes as they air on like the Pluto Doctor Who channel, and I quite enjoy stories like The Two Doctors and Vengeance on Varos, Mark of the Ronnie, etc. So yeah, I can't wait to see the season in this form. So that'll be a lot of fun, and I will fully review it when I get it for you guys. Okay, and also you can get this box on Amazon.com for $51.69. That's the American version, and that's coming out on October 18th of this year. We're always a few months behind the British, and of course our boxes are very different. We don't get the limited edition box or anything special. They usually don't even have an insert these days, so you get it pretty much to the discs, and they're very standard generic discs. So they all have just like the cover photo on them, whereas the British version tends to have different artwork for each disc, which I like. And of course there's, you get a big booklet with the limited edition box set and all kinds of cool artwork, and you get that nice big box, which initially I didn't like those big boxes because they do take up a bit more shelf space. However, I have come to appreciate the bells and whistles on those limited edition box sets, which is why I've been trying to get all of them. And so far, I haven't been quite successful in getting them all. I've got them all, like I said, technically but one, which would be season 18. I'm still trying to track down a reasonably priced limited edition box set of season 18, which is extremely difficult. And lately, I've only seen them going for, upwards of $200 or more dollars. Which is insane. I wouldn't pay that for it. But at any rate, season 22, or what they call over here, Colin Baker Complete Season 1. I don't know why they do that. I guess they think season 22 is confusing to Americans, but to me, you're actually being more confusing by doing this. But that's just my opinion. But to me, it's extra work. I don't know. I don't understand why they want to do that. They could just take the artwork as it was created on the UK sets and just transfer that over if they just leave it alone and call it season 22 as it's supposed to be. But no, complete season 1. Currently, the going rate for the pre-order at Amazon is $51.69. $51.69 That will probably go down more as time goes by, as we get closer to release. So if you pre-order it now, they will guarantee you'll get the lowest price, no matter how it fluctuates up and down. It may go back up before the end. Typically, they usually start them off at like $69.99 on here. But currently it's down to $51.69, which actually isn't a bad price for the set if you like the American sets, if that's what you're trying to get. The great thing about the UK sets, I can point out, is that they are actually region free. So they will play in American Blu-ray machines. The UK DVDs don't. You have to have a region free player to play those. If you get, DVDs that are released in the UK. But as far as the Blu-rays are concerned, they're always, at least as far as the Doctor Who's are concerned, I don't know if it covers everything, but as far as the Doctor Who's are concerned, the BBC do release region-free discs, and they will play on most US players. I have come across one or two that apparently people have said don't work on their players, but I think if you have an older player, it might have an issue reading it. But that's if you have an older player. You should definitely have an updated player. I play it on, I have a couple of Blu-ray players. I have just a regular standard 4K Blu-ray player that plays them just fine. I also have a region-free Blu-ray player that obviously plays them just fine. And I have a PlayStation 4 that I play them in sometimes too, and they play just fine in there. So if you have, a relatively up-to-date Blu-ray player, you will be able to play those UK releases if they're the Blu-ray releases. They are region-free. So at any rate, it looks like the UK limited edition of season 22 is sold out in a lot of places. I even looked on Zavvi, and they don't even have it listed now, so I would assume that means their pre-orders are sold out. That doesn't necessarily mean they won't get more when it's released on the 20th. They may actually get more copies then to sell, but you can't pre-order it at the moment, and Rare Waves is sold out of the pre-orders, so you won't be able to pre-order it there. But also out on the same day, and I can pull it back up, is here we go. Doctor Who and the Daleks 4K Ultra HD Collector's Edition, which includes the Blu-ray as well. Now, this is a big box set from the Peter Cushing Doctor Who films. They're releasing them on 4K, and they're coming in a limited edition box or just a standard steel book 4K box. You get the 4K and the Blu-ray. These are also, again, region free as far as I know. I don't think it's going to be any different, but we will see. I actually pre-ordered the steelbook, the standard steelbook of Doctor Who and the Daleks, the 4K. So when I get that, I'll also review that and let you know if it really is region free and plays in anything. Again, I have a region-free Blu-ray player, so if it doesn't play in like the PS4 or something, I can always slap it in there and watch it. But I look forward to seeing the new transfer of this. They've remastered it and upgraded it to 4K, and I'm looking forward to that. Right now, Zavvi has pre-orders still available for that 4K Ultra Collector's Edition box set, which comes with all kinds of new, all kinds of different things. There's like a big poster in there. There's like these collector's coins. There's postcards. There's a big booklet. A number of different things. I couldn't tell you what all is there, but at Zavvi you can pre-order that right now. Rare Waves is actually sold out of pre-orders for Doctor Who and the Daleks. They still have some left for Daleks Invasion Earth, which was coming out in July over there. But supposedly these are going to be released in Australia, I believe, and a few other countries like Germany on July the 1st, I think. If I remember what I read, I don't have that information in front of me, but this set here is coming out in the UK on the 20th of June, and, as well as the steelbook of it. Which like I said, I pre-ordered the steelbook, so that should be coming in around the same time as season 22. And then I haven't yet pre-ordered the Daleks Invasion Earth, but I plan to before they sell out. I plan to do that probably this week and get that locked in for July, because that'll be out about 3 weeks after, 3 or 4 weeks after this first one comes out. And I opted to grab the 4K release because it's about half the price of the big limited edition box set. And as pretty as that box set is, and I am curious about it, as much as I'm curious about it, I really didn't want to pay like $60 for that set. Hoping that maybe they come out, they come down after they've been released somewhere and I can grab it for 50 or less. If I can grab one of them for 50 or less just to be able to review it, I may do so. But for now, I'll be happy with the steelbook, and I think the steelbook looks quite nice. There's some nice artwork on there, and like I said, I'll review that whenever I get it. Right now, you can pre-order Doctor Who and the Daleks, the collector's box set with all the goodies for $64.99 plus shipping. So you're going to be paying upwards of $70 or more for that. And then you could go for the standard steelbook, which at Zavvi you can currently pre-order Doctor Who and the Daleks. They still have some for $38.99 plus the shipping, which again that's going to be around $44 total. And Rare Waves still has the Daleks Invasion of Earth steelbook, and I think the limited collector's edition as well for pre-order, and they might be a few bucks cheaper than Zavvi, but it just depends on which retailer you would prefer to go with on that. So, but yeah, luckily there are still some pre-orders available for those, but they do seem to be going, so if you want them, you better grab them. And I've ordered from Zavvi once or twice. They're all right. I prefer Rare Waves. I've just had more experience with them, and they tend to be a few dollars cheaper, at least for pre-orders. When something is first released, sometimes they do raise the price a bit. But I've gotten a lot of my UK releases over the last few years from Rare Waves, most of them. But once in a while, I order from Zavvi. I've ordered from them once or twice, and the only time I've been unhappy with Zavvi is they actually had for the release of Galaxy 4, when it was available for pre-order, the date was wrong. The release date they had for like December 31st of last year, when it actually came out in October, I believe it was. And I had pre-ordered it from them, but then the date came up for release, and they never sent it. So I inquired, and their records were telling me it was coming out on the 31st of December. Well, it was already out everywhere else. So I ended up buying it from Rare Waves anyway. And and getting it a lot sooner than Zavvi sent them out, apparently, to people. So that was kind of a weird situation. So I don't know why they had the wrong date and weren't getting them until then. So maybe something with their distributor. I don't know. But at any rate, that's what's happening there with releases for this month. And like I said, in July, Daleks Invasion Earth comes out in the UK. So, and in Australia, apparently, and Germany, but there's no word on whether or not these 4K releases of the Peter Cushing films is coming out in America or not, which is a shame that they haven't given us a release date for that yet, and I don't know if they will. The last time they actually released those in the UK on Blu-ray, it took a few years for them to come over here, so that was very strange. But they did eventually release them over here like a year or two ago, and I managed to get a hold of the Blu-ray copies of those. But now the 4K is coming out, and I'm curious to see what that's going to look like. So I've rambled on enough about this. So that wasn't even what this episode was originally meant to be about, but that's what we got into, and there you go. 20 odd minutes later, we're out of time, so I don't want to ramble on all day. But thank you guys for tuning in. I will try and do, as I said before, fairly regular releases here of Q-Who. So probably next week you'll be hearing from me again with more stuff, hopefully more news and reviews and etc. So until then, guys, please stay tuned.
You have been listening to a fan production for Dream Realm Enterprises. This is a not-for-profit program.